people live there?
We just have a common idea that rich
Yes.
people come from that area.
A little joke amongst people that like Centurion is where all the rich la-di-da people lives, but it's not actually.
Also, what do you do in Vietnam?
I am currently a English teacher in Vietnam.
teacher.
I've been living and working here for a little bit over 2 years now.
Have you learned any Vietnamese words?
The basics like hello, thank you. I can ask for my check when I go to restaurant, and like always, the swear words.
Yoo-hoo!
Such as?
No, I cannot say it like live on TV.
So why do you choose Vietnam to live?
It's actually a funny story. Before I moved to Vietnam, I was teaching English in Bangkok, in Thailand.
Oh, Thailand.
One of my friends was working here in Vietnam, so she sent me some information about the company she's working for. I came to visit her and I fell in love with Ho Chi Minh City and I was like, I want to move here. And yeah, that's how I ended up here.
I think I had the same story. Like, I started in northeast Thailand. Where did you teach?
In Bangkok, like Bangkok itself, yeah.
I worked in a small place called Patum Ratchawongsa. Patum Ratchawongsa. Imagine, there was one 7-Eleven in that place.
One 7-Eleven?
One 7-Eleven, and it's one street. So, do you think Bangkok is better than Ho Chi Minh City?
It's different.
Oh, so smart, so smart.
There's things that I like better in Bangkok, the fact that there's like public transport that works, but it's not so easy to get around and do things in Bangkok. Like here in Ho Chi Minh, I have a motorbike, I can drive around, and so there's things that's different.
Pros and cons.
But you can see that the traffic in Ho Chi Minh City is so crazy, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is ridiculous. Whereas if you're in Thailand, you do see the traffic if you use taxis and stuff,
Yeah.
but when you take the train and stuff, you don't really pay attention to how crazy traffic is. But here, on a daily basis, you get stuck in a traffic jam somewhere.
I find that if you leave at least an hour earlier than you're supposed to, then you can have a chill time driving there.
Yeah.
Before we continue, I must compliment you on your eyebrows. You have amazing eyebrows. Any woman would be jealous of your natural eyebrows.
On
Look at
point.
them.
Thank you. I do get a lot of compliments about my eyebrows. Everyone is always like, oh, no, it's fake. Like, no, it's real.
Wow.
I didn't do anything to it.
I can only look at his eyebrows when I look at his face.
Alushka.
Sorry. Let's
Focus on the story, okay? What subject did you study in the university?
University.
And why you decide to become an English teacher?
So I grew up in a very small town in the northern part of South Africa called Palabora.
Ooh, I don't even know that place.
Which is really close to the Kruger National Park, like it borders to the Kruger National Park.
Palaborva.
That one, I studied entertainment technology.
Oh.
Very fancy word.
Entertainment IT.
To be an
No,
entertainer.
basically. I studied theater and film for backstage.
Wow.
Yes, so like I'm a makeup artist, I'm a costume designer, I'm a stage manager. And part of that, we also had to study 2 on-stage subjects, which I did singing and dancing
So,
backstage.
can you sing a part of your favorite song? Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
Please.
Gonna join me?
If I know the song, I will.
I have so many favorite songs.
Who's your favorite
Choose one.
artist?
Blackpink, but I can't sing in Korean.
Like, kill this love, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people say that I look like Lisa.
You do have Lisa's face. What do you want me to sing?
Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce.
Singing
To the
before-
left.
To
What's
the
that
left,
song?
to the left.
Yeah, irreplaceable. To the left, to the left.
Everything you own in a box to the left, in the closet. That's
That's
all I
my stuff. Yes, if I bought it, please
don't touch.
Keep walking in that smile. Could you walk
Something like
Alushka,
at
that.
the same
this is
time?
his stage.
Okay, another one.
Maybe a Shawn Mendes song. What do
Oh,
we
Shawn
know?
Mendes.
Who's
Do you
that?
like?
I know I can treat you better.
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
So you two sing together.
No.
And 3, 2, 1.
I know I can treat you better than he can. And any girl like you deserves a gentleman.
Nice.
Okay, back to your childhood. When did you realize that you were different from the other boys?
That is such a difficult question, no. I mean, you kind of know it growing up, but you always like press it down and kind of ignore it. But my mom used to tell me from a very, very young age that I was always different. I was always in the house with a brush in my hand, performing and like in front of the mirror and doing, yes,
What?
exactly.
Yeah, I do the same stuff.
Doing crazy things. And I remember my mom had this this polka dot skirt that she always wore to work, and that was my favorite thing that I went to go get out of her closet to put on when I was performing.
You have any photos of that?
I do, but it's hidden
I
away.
have to see that photo.
So I was running around in the house and like on the kitchen table, and so I wasn't hiding it. After that, going into school, and primary school is like, don't really know yourself yet. You start trying to find yourself. But I started like realizing something was really different when I went into high school, because I was the only boy who always did like the school concerts and like the cheerleading squad and dancing and singing and performing. That wasn't
Drama child.
that one. And especially being in a small town, it was kind of frowned upon. Like boys didn't really do that. If you didn't play rugby, then you're not a boy.
But that is a subject at your school, right?
It's a
It's
subject.
So why weird?
In the beginning, like grade 8 and grade 9, it's compulsory. You have to do it. Everybody has to do it.
Yeah, so like you get forced to do it in grade 8 and 9, so no one can really say anything. But when you go to grade 10, you need to choose the subjects that you want to study in for your last 3 years of school.
3 years.
And then you can pick it as one of your main subjects, but that's when everyone just leaves it.
Yeah.
So that's when we were like, you're the only person who picks drama. Everyone is like,
Everyone does business or technical drawings.
or accounting.
That was my least favorite subject. I hate numbers. Anyway, so did you have any crushes or love stories or anything when you were in school?
No. I was that typical good boy, didn't have any relationships in school, zero, nothing. I didn't see anyone, didn't date anyone. I didn't go out to parties and like clubbing and drinking, and I went to school, studied, did all the things at school. I was very like hands-on with all the extracurriculum activities at school.
Oh, yeah.
So like when there was like a big sports days, I would be helping the teachers plan the sports days and preparing everything. And like one of my subjects in school was, what's the word? Cooking. But not just cooking. We
like a cooking class.
But not only cooking, like you study how to run a restaurant.
It is about
Hospitality studies.
Oh my
That's the word. Well done.
Wow.
So that was one of my subjects. So when there was big sports days, we usually had to go in really early on those mornings to go like cook breakfast for all the schools, the teachers to come and have breakfast. From grade 10, 11, 12, you would have like a prefects. Like, so like you'll have like a class leader, and then you'll have a grade leader.
So you were a prefect?
Yes, I was.
Oh my God, I wished to be a prefect when I was in school, but I was too naughty.
You were the one I was trying to find that was like doing naughty things.
Only the cool kids were prefects. Prefects were elected by the other students and also by the teachers. So that means you were quite liked and popular in school.
I think it was mostly the teachers, not the other students. My mom and dad got divorced when I was, I think, 6 years old, so when I was still very young. So since I can remember, it's always just been me and my mom in the house growing up. So she always did whatever she can to support me and provide for me, and yeah.
So you didn't have a father figure?
I did have a dad, but he wasn't as active in my life as I would want a dad to be. When I got to grade 9 in high school, it kind of got a little bit better, but then sadly he had a heart condition, so he passed away in grade 9.
I think
Yeah.
South African people have that in common. Somehow, all our parents or somehow a dad is missing or a mom is missing or something like that.
Yeah, it's a big thing in South Africa. And I feel that people in South Africa don't like if they're not happy anymore, they just get divorced. Like
So easy,
it's
right?
so easy. It's
Should stick to the saying, if it's broken, don't replace it, but try to fix it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a good thing to keep in mind. So my mom is a very strong person, and she always worked really hard. She was in the army, so I was like an army child.
Oh, too strong, right?
But not like war combat. She was a nurse.
Oh, sorry, but when you were in high school,
I think I knew, but I kind of
because you
denied it. Like you didn't want to be, because growing up in a small town, you cannot be gay. Like it's not allowed. Knowing that, I kind of like pressed it down, and I think that is also a part why I didn't really like have relationships.
So at that age, you have to pretend that you're straight.
Yes, at the end of